May 14th, 2008, just past midnight, in southwestern Minnesota. Brandon Swanson, a 19-year-old college student, drives alone on a gravel road, heading home after a night of celebration. His green Chevrolet Lumina skids plunges into a ditch and stops dead. He's unharmed but stranded, miles from anywhere. He grabs his phone, dials his parents, and pleads for help. Brian and Annette Swanson leap into their truck, racing through the dark, their son's voice crackling over the line. For 47 minutes they talk, they search, they cling to hope. Then, without warning, Brandon utters two words that will haunt them forever. "Oh shit." The call goes silent. His parents scream his name, but he's gone, vanished without a trace. What swallowed Brandon Swanson that night? Was it the vast, unyielding fields of Minnesota? A hidden danger lurking in the dark? Or a secret in his life? A relationship that broke all the rules, that led to his undoing? Tonight, we unravel one of America's most baffling mysteries, a story of trust, love, and the weight of societal judgment. This is the story of a phone call that changed everything, and it will leave you questioning the paths we choose and the people we let guide us. Stay with us, because this story doesn't let go. Marshall, Minnesota, 2008. A small town of 13,000, where the fields stretch like an endless sea and the stars burn bright against a velvet sky. It's a place of quiet routines. Neighbors wave from porches, kids bike down Main Street, and secrets whisper through the cornstalks. But on May 14th, 2008, Marshall became the heart of a mystery that still chills those who hear it. Brandon Swanson was 19, a freshman at Minnesota West Community and Technical College, studying wind turbines with dreams of shaping a greener future. He was the son every parent hopes for, smart, dependable, quick with a joke, and fiercely loyal to his family. Parents Brian and Annette, and younger sister Jameen. Friends called him a light in any room, the kind of guy who'd help you move or tease you, just enough to make you laugh. But that night, as he drove through the back roads, something went terribly wrong. His disappearance isn't just a puzzle, it's a gut punch. Brandon vanished mid-conversation, mid-step, with his parents on the phone, desperate to reach him. Why was he 25 miles from where he thought he was? What did he see in those final moments that made him curse and fall silent? And could his relationship with an older woman hold the key to what happened? May 13th, 2008, marked the end of Brandon Swanson's first year at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby, 30 miles from his hometown of Marshall. The air was warm, the semester done, and Brandon, with his easy smile and quiet confidence, was ready to celebrate. He started the evening in Lind, a village of 400 just 7 miles from Marshall, at a friend's house. There was music, laughter, and a few beers. Friends later said Brandon had a drink or two, but was fine. No slurring, no stumbling, just his usual self, joking and relaxed. Around 10:30 p.m., he climbed into his Chevrolet Lumina and drove to Canby for another gathering, a chance to toast a classmate before summer break. There, he had a shot of whiskey, but those who saw him swore he was sober enough to drive. But Brandon's night wasn't just about college friends. There was someone else in his world, someone who stood apart from the crowd. Her name was Laura, a 35-year-old bartender in Canby, with a magnetic presence. Laura had a laugh that could fill a room, eyes that seemed to see through you, and a knack for making everyone feel special. She and Brandon met months earlier at the bar where she worked, when he'd lingered after a drink, asking questions about her life, her travels, her stories of cities far beyond Marshall's fields. Something sparked. He was 19, curious, hungry for a world bigger than his hometown. She was older, worldly, a guide to places he'd only imagined. Their connection stirred whispers. In Marshall, where gossip spreads like wildfire, an age gap relationship, 15 years apart, wasn't just noticed, it was judged. Friends muttered that Laura was too old, too experienced, maybe even using Brandon for her own reasons. His parents, Brian and Annette, supported his independence but worried about Laura's influence, sensing their son was drifting into a world they didn't fully understand. To Brandon, though, Laura was a beacon, a fairy tale figure, a wise enchantress in a town that often felt like a cage. A 2019 study in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that couples with a 10-plus year age difference face significant societal scrutiny, with 36% reporting judgment from family or peers. The stigma often hinges on assumptions, power imbalances, mismatched goals, or emotional manipulation. For a 19-year-old like Brandon, still carving out his identity, an older partner could offer wisdom or wield influence that shapes choices in unseen ways. Was Laura a mentor guiding Brandon toward growth, or a shadow pulling him into risks he wasn't ready for? That question would soon loom larger than anyone could imagine. After midnight, Brandon left the Canby party and began the 30-mile drive home to Marshall. Instead of taking State Highway 68, the direct paved route, he chose the back roads, a web of gravel paths winding through endless farmland. Why? Maybe he wanted to avoid the police, knowing he'd had a few drinks. Maybe he was distracted, thinking of Laura or the night's conversations. Or maybe, like a wanderer in a fairy tale, he was drawn to the solitude of the dark, chasing a path that felt like freedom. Around 1:15 a.m., his car hit loose gravel, skidded, and landed in a ditch. The lumina was high-centered, and the wheels useless. Brandon tried calling friends, but no one answered. At 1:54 a.m., he dialed his parents, the one number he knew would pick up. Brandon, on the phone, calm but tense. "Mom, Dad, I'm stuck. The car's in a ditch. I'm fine, I need a ride." Annette, on phone, worried. "Okay, honey, where are you? What do you see?" Brandon, "I think I'm near Lind. There are lights in the distance, like a town. Maybe Lind." Brian, on phone, steady. "All right, stay there. We're coming. Flash your lights so we can find you." Brian and Annette grabbed their keys, jumped into their pickup, and sped toward Lind, 7 miles away. They kept Brandon on the phone, their voices anchoring him in the dark. He stayed by his car, flashing the headlights, while they did the same, hoping to spot each other. Minutes dragged on, but the night stayed empty. No lights, no car, no Brandon. Annette, on phone, anxious. "Brandon, we're not seeing you. Are you sure you're near Lind?" Brandon, irritated. "I don't know, Mom. I see lights, all right? I'm not lost." Brian, calm but firm. "Let's try this. What's around you? Any signs, landmarks?" Brandon, "Just fields. Gravel road. I think I'm close to town. I'm gonna walk toward the lights." That decision changed everything. Brandon left his car, keys in the ignition, doors unlocked, and started walking toward what he thought was Lind. He told his father to meet him at a bar's parking lot in town, a place they both knew. The call stretched on, 47 minutes of tense exchanges, of hope fraying at the edges. Brian drove, Annette prayed, and Brandon described the crunch of gravel and the faint glow ahead. But he wasn't near Lind. Cell phone records later showed his call pinged off a tower near Taunton, 25 miles northwest, in the opposite direction from Marshall. He was lost in a maze of rural roads, far from where he believed he was. No one, not Brandon, not his parents, realized the truth. This moment feels like a fairy tale's dark turn. The hero, lured by a distant light, ventures deeper into the unknown, blind to the danger. Was Brandon's confidence, his certainty about his location, a mark of youth, of trust in his instincts? Or had Laura's influence, her stories of bold choices and freedom, nudged him toward risks he didn't fully grasp? The backroads, like a forest in a storybook, hid truths he couldn't see. 47 minutes into the call, at roughly 2:30 a.m., the story shifts to a nightmare. Brandon was walking, talking to his father, describing the road, the lights, the night. Then, his voice sharpened. Brandon, on the phone, alarmed. "Oh shit!" Silence. Absolute bone-chilling silence. Brian shouted for his son, his voice breaking. Brian, on phone, frantic. "Brandon? Brandon, what's happening? Talk to me." Annette, in the background, sobbing. "Brian, what's wrong? Where is he?" The call didn't drop. The line stayed open briefly, as if the night itself had stolen Brandon's voice. Brian called back, again and again, but there was no answer. The Swansons drove desperately, searching the roads near Lind, but found nothing. No car, no footprints, no sign. At 6:30 a.m., exhausted and terrified, they called the Lind police. Annette, desperate. He was on the phone, and then he just stopped. "Something happened. You have to find him." Police officer, calm, dismissive. "Ma'am, he's 19. Kids his age stay out late and crash with friends. Give it a day." Annette, angry. "He's not like that. He was lost and now he's gone. Do something." The officer's words cut deep. Annette later recalled him saying it was Brandon's right to be missing. In 2008, missing adult cases weren't always treated urgently, especially for young men. The police assumed Brandon was fine, maybe sleeping off a party. But the Swansons knew their son. He wasn't the type to vanish without a word. By mid-morning, the Lind police began a basic search, but found nothing. They called the Lyon County Sheriff's Office, who used Brandon's phone records to uncover a chilling fact. He'd been near Taunton, not Lind. Deputies found his car in a ditch off a gravel road near the Lincoln County line, a mile north of Highway 68. The doors were open, keys gone, but there was no blood, no signs of struggle. Brandon was simply gone. The discovery of Brandon's car sparked a massive search, one of Minnesota's largest. Over 500 volunteers, 30 dog handlers, and teams from 9 states scoured 120 square miles of fields, rivers, and farmland. Helicopters swept overhead, divers searched the Yellow Medicine River, and bloodhounds followed Brandon's scent, only to lose it near farm equipment on private land. The landowner denied access, and without probable cause, police couldn't press further. Theories swirled like dust in the wind. The leading one: Brandon fell into the Yellow Medicine River, 15 feet deep in places, and drowned. But searches found nobody, and Annette insisted the dogs traced his scent away from the river, toward the county line. Hypothermia was another possibility. Temperatures were around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, chilly, but not fatal. Could he have fallen into a well or hidden structure? Or did he choose to disappear, overwhelmed by college, relationships, or small-town life? The darkest theory pointed to foul play. Had Brandon met someone on that lonely road, a stranger with ill intent, or someone closer, someone he trusted? This brings us back to Laura. Could their age gap relationship, with its undercurrents of judgment and influence, have led to a fatal moment? Let's consider this. Age gap relationships often face what a 2021 social psychology quarterly study calls social disapproval stress, amplifying conflict and emotional strain. For Brandon, navigating his first taste of adult freedom, Laura's influence could have been profound. Did she urge him to take the back roads, perhaps to meet her? Did their bond, admired by him but judged by others, push him toward risky choices? Or did someone who disapproved, a friend, a rival, take action? There's no evidence Laura was involved, but the dynamics of their relationship mirror broader truths. Older partners can guide, but they can also steer subtly, shaping decisions a younger person might not question. In this story, Laura was both mentor and enigma, her light perhaps a lure into the dark. The Swansons turned their pain into purpose. They pushed for Brandon's law, passed in 2009, mandating immediate police action in missing adult cases. Signed by Governor Tim Pawlenty, with the Swansons present, it ensures no family faces the delays they did. Yet, 17 years later, Brandon remains missing. Tips come in, but none have cracked the case. His car, 25 miles from where he thought he was, stands as a silent witness to a night without answers. Dawn breaks over Marshall, Minnesota, painting the gold of the fields, but Brandon Swanson's mystery lingers like a shadow. His story is a weave of trust and loss, of love tested by judgment, and of a moment that reshaped lives. Like a fairy tale, it carries a lesson. The paths we walk and the hands we hold shape our fates in ways we can't always predict. Brandon trusted the lights he saw, trusted his sense of place, trusted help was near. But trust, unchecked, can lead us astray. Whether it's a road, a person, or a relationship that feels like a storybook, but hides risks. Age gap relationships, like the one Brandon may have had, aren't inherently wrong, but they demand care. A 2023 Psychology Today article notes that successful ones thrive on mutual respect and clear communication, but imbalances, inexperience, power, or intent can tilt toward harm. What does Brandon's story teach us? First, trust your instincts, but check your map. If a path, literal or emotional, feels off, pause and question. Second, hear those who love you, even when their worries sting. Brian and Annette sensed a shift in Brandon, not because of Laura's age, but because their son was changing. Their love was a guide he might have followed. Finally, cherish your anchors. Brandon's last words were to his parents, a reminder that family is often our lifeline in the dark. This isn't just a true crime story. It's about the choices we make chasing love, freedom, and belonging. It's about the courage to keep searching, even when hope fades. And it's about a phone call that echoes across 17 years. If you know anything about Brandon Swanson's disappearance, call the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department. Your tip could end a family's 17-year wait. And to you, watching, reflect on your own path. Who guides you? What lights do you follow? Do they lead home or deeper into the unknown? Share your thoughts in the comments on Brandon's story, age gap relationships, or lessons about trust. If this moved you, like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more true crime stories that challenge how we see the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep seeking the truth.